College football's best programs since 2010. Alabama, Clemson lead top 20 rankings. Alabama and Clemson have dominated the last decade of college football, but there is still 1 year remaining in the 2010s for other programs to catch up. AA Sporting News ranked the top 20 college football programs since 2010 with a statistical formula that spans the BCS and college football playoff eras. Here are the categories we use to determine those programs. A. National Championships. A1 0 points each. A. National Title Game appearances. A 5 points each. A. College Football Playoff appearances. A 5 points each. A. New Year's Day 6/BCS Bowl appearances. A 3 points each. A. Heisman Trophy winners. A 2 points each. A. That's not all. Overall winning percentage, All-Americans, and NFL draft picks. First-round picks were awarded with a poll-style 15-1 score. Ties were broken. With that in mind, here are the 20 best college football programs since 2010. Score 12.5. Why they're here. The Trojans still made the cut despite the fact their third head coach this decade is on the hot seat. Lane Kiffin, points 12.5. AA. Why they're here. Michigan was 38-26 in the 5 seasons this decade before Jim Harbaugh arrived, and is 38-14 since. That's progress. Score 1.48. AA. Why they're here. Broncos have been the model group of 5 program, and that includes 7 seasons with 10 or more wins this decade. Boise State has. Score 1.48. Why they're here. Chris Peterson has led the Huskies to a college football playoff berth and 2 New Year's Day 6 bowls since his arrival in 2014. Washington has emerged. Why they're here. Cowboys remain a consistent winner under longtime coach Mike Gundy, and 6 seasons with double-digit wins this decade provide the proof. Oklahoma State. Why they're here. Aggie Sarin King is skewed a little by the fact they have produced the third most All-Americans this decade, with Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel the program's most recognizable player. Texas A&M. Why they're here. Mark D'Antonio built a stable Big Ten contender that won 3 conference championships this decade. That reached its peak. Why they're here. Decade featured the end of the Urban Meyer era and 7 up and down seasons with Will Muschamp and Jim McElwain. Dan Mullen enjoyed. Score 26.5. A. Why they're here. Georgia's winning percentage dipped a little at the end of the Mark Herrick era, but Kirby Smart has made the transition and inched the Bulldogs closer to ending a national championship drought that extends back to 1980. Expect the Bulldogs. Why they're here. Notre Dame has an appearance in both OBS championship and a playoff semi-final under Brian Kelly, part of 2 undefeated regular seasons. The rest of the decade. Why they're here. Badgers rank in the top 10 in winning percentage and have produced more All-Americans than any other Big Ten program this decade as part of their never-ending running back assembly line. Paula Krista has Why they're here. Tigers won the national championship with Heisman Trophy winner Cam Newton in 2010, and they are the worst ranked national title team on this list. The fact they are ranked. Why they're here. Kip Kelly and Mark Helfrich took the Ducks to the BCS and playoff national championship games in 2010 and 2014, respectively, but Oregon is just 29-22 the last 4 seasons under 3 different coaches. Mario Cristobal. Why they're here. David Shaw picked up where Jim Harbaugh left off after a 12-1 season in 2010, and the Cardinal have won at least 9 games in all but 1 season since. Christian McCaffrey. Why they're here. There is a gap after the top 5, and the Tigers are here because their program has produced the second most NFL picks in ranks. LSU. Why they're here. Sooners just missed out of the top 4, but they are the best program without a national championship this decade. Oklahoma has made. Why they're here. When the college football playoff era started, FSU would have been number 2 on this list. The Seminoles have. 78.5. A. Why they're here. There is a gap between Alabama, Clemson, and everybody else, but the Buckeyes remain the most consistent program behind the Tide and Tigers. Urban Meyer L of points 105.5 AA. Why they're here. The Tigers have trailed Ohio State and Florida State on this list until now. Otto Swinney has brought the big game mentality to Clemson, leading the Tigers to national championship runs in 2016 and 18. The Tigers will be points 166A. Why they're here. Nick Saban won his first national championship at Alabama within 2009, and the Crimson Tide tacked on 4 more this decade. They've reached the college-related slideshow early top 25 college football teams for 2019 provided by USA Today Sports A.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,